Hi, so I am recording this in my backyard because right now I need to supervise my foster rooster. And there is some work going on at a neighbor's house, so you might hear that in the background. So I put my little microphone on, hoping it'll improve the sound. I should probably be using it every time anyway, but that is why you hear that noise and I can't escape it right now. So I'm going to go with what I have. So I want to talk to you about sleep trackers. I get the question every once in a while from a client, from on social media, from a random person about whether I recommend sleep trackers or not. And it seems like more and more sleep trackers are becoming available all the time. There's more and more options and the prices are improving. So that is awesome there. But one thing I want to make known is if you are a quote-unquote good sleeper, then they can be very handy. If you have insomnia, I think it can actually make things worse for you, and I will explain more about that. So I want to start off with sleep trackers, at-home sleep trackers. As of right now, that I know of, none of them are crazy accurate, even including the Aura Ring. The reason being is they don't track your brain waves. The only way you can have a really accurate sleep monitor, at-home one that isn't from or prescribed from your doctor, the only way to be accurate is from measuring your brain waves. The sleep trackers out there right now that we can get on our own, most of them, the way they work is they measure how much you're moving when you're sleeping. So it figures the more you're moving, the more likely that you are awake. If you're super still, it thinks you're asleep. Now that could be true, but it also cannot be true. Like when I had insomnia in the past, I would just lay there still and relax and focus on my deep breathing, but I wasn't asleep. And it would think I'm asleep a lot more than I am. Hey, maybe I was, but again, it's not measuring the brain waves. That's what you need to have the accuracy. Now, for someone that is a good sleeper, overall, it's good to use. You can use it as a way to determine if certain habits are affecting your sleep. For example, let's say you drink coffee in the afternoon. You can drink coffee for a week and look at your results throughout the week, and then take a week off of drinking coffee in the afternoon and see an overall difference. That can be handy for all sorts of things. Any little habit in your life, you can use that to compare the overall differences from week to week. I think that is really handy, and I love that idea. Now, if you have insomnia, this is where trouble begins. So, sleep trackers can kind of give you a sense of control. Like you get this data and you can control your results and do things to try to make sleep improve, or to improve your score on the sleep tracker, or improve different cycles of your sleep. It's giving you this overall sense of control that you really don't have. You have to remember that we cannot control our sleep. As much as we try to do it, and that's why we end up in an insomnia cycle, we cannot make sleep happen. Even sleeping pills aren't actually making you sleep. And I can make a whole video about that if you want to know more about sleeping pills, but that's a side note. They give you a sense of control that we don't really have, and it can lead to a lot of frustration as you're trying all these different tips and supplements and all these different things to try to improve your sleep score, try to improve the different sleep cycles, when really they're not going to change them. You can't control them, and it's going to lead to frustration when they're not working. Now, another problem is sleep trackers can give you kind of a pressure to sleep. Adding pressure to sleep is going to make it even more difficult to sleep, if that makes sense. So you wear your sleep tracker, you get these results, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to try to change something to improve the score, to improve things. and then at night you're like, okay, I have this pressure to sleep better, and you're adding all this, like, you have to sleep. You know, it's kind of like a pressure. And adding all this pressure is going to increase that hyperarousal. It's going to increase the stress, and it's going to make it more difficult to sleep. I'd rather have things more peaceful, take your mind off of sleep, and yes. So the other reason is stress and worry. That's another reason I don't recommend sleep trackers for someone with insomnia. So if you're getting your results, things are going to be kind of out of whack right now if you have insomnia. We know that it's not going to be optimal. And just seeing those results is going to add a lot of stress and worry. You're going to feel like something's wrong with you, and you're going to feel like, oh, this is why I have insomnia as well, when really that's just a result of the insomnia. But the results are not going to help you in any way. They're not going to help you sleep any better by changing anything from those results, and they're just going to make you stressed, worried, feel like there's something wrong with you, and that is not what we want. That's going to add more stress and more hyperarousal and make it more difficult to sleep. So with that said, I am actually testing out the Whisper sleep system. You can look it up. Pretty cool company. They send you a sleep testing kit. I know I'm against them, but I am a quote-unquote good sleeper now that I overcome my insomnia. Basically, you put on these 2 patches for 3 days, and I wish I brought the list with me, but it'll test your breathing quality, your respiration rate, your heart rate, your movements, what sleep positions you were in for how long, all sorts of things like that. And then after the 3 days, a medical professional will not diagnose you, but they'll go through your results and talk to you about them and give you a plan and work with you. While I don't think this would be great for you if you have insomnia right now, I think once you're a good sleeper, it could be really helpful because it can show signs of sleep apnea. I don't know if they can officially diagnose it with it. I don't think so. But the medical professional will talk to you about if they suspect it, or I don't think they can diagnose it. But yeah, so I think it's so helpful if anyone thinks they may have insomnia, or not insomnia, sleep apnea, to get themselves tested. It is so important. Even right now, if you have insomnia, go get tested. It is treatable, and it can improve your quality of sleep a lot. But that is it. I hope you found this helpful, and if you have any suggestions or topics that you want me to talk about, post it below. Bye.